Well, hey, it's August the 7th, 2023. And as of this recording, tomorrow on Tuesday, Radio WV is going to upload the debut of Richmond, North of Richmond. And it's going to be the first song to get out there that's been recorded on a real microphone and a real camera, and not just on my cell phone. And Lord willing, it's going to get some traffic, and maybe at least a few of you are going to drift your way over here. And I thought I'd have kind of an introduction video on what it is I'm aiming to do here. So, I've been playing a long time and singing. I really started to write my own music back in 2021. Things were obviously not good for a lot of people, and in some respects I was one of those people. And I had wasted a lot of nights getting high and getting drunk, and I had sort of gotten to a point in my life where even things that I did care about didn't mean anything to me anymore. And I mean, this is certainly no Dr. Phil episode, but I found an outlet in this music, and I started uploading a couple songs, and Ain't Got a Dollar I uploaded spring of last year, and then Rich Man's Gold, Cobwebs and Cocaine, and the list goes on from there. And there's probably been about a dozen or so originals that I've put out just off my cell phone. And I started getting messages from people saying like how much the music was helping them, and with their struggles in their lives, and that they'd been sitting on the back porch listening to me for the last hour. And it just I don't know, it really gave me a purpose. It made me feel like I wasn't just wasting my time.
Welcome, friends. This is T again with another reaction video, and today we're going to be doing a reaction on Oliver Anthony, Richmond, North of Richmond. Now, I just found out about this video. Is obviously blowing up on Apple as #1, which is crazy. Right behind Jason Aldean's Trying in a Small Town. Seem to be a lot of controversies with these songs, and I'm very interested in looking at this. Now, I'm putting this on my second channel, but at some point I will put it on my first channel. But it seems to be pretty risky these days. When you post stuff, you can get a strike, which I already got 2 strikes on my first channel. So that's the reason why I have a second channel, because I'm trying to mitigate the risk of getting all these strikes. But I am glad to do this reaction. From my understanding, it's about what a lot of us going through right now as far as money and our way of living. At this point, it seems to be diminishing because our money is becoming less worth it, less valuable. So a lot of people right now are struggling and suffering right now because of a lot of the things that's going on in politics, and the fact that people are getting richer who are already rich, and then everybody else seem to be falling to the wayside. And it seems like a lot of people, especially from my understanding, the media are attacking this song as some type of right-wing song. So anybody that express anything that's not what they want you to know is pretty much right wing. So that's pretty much where we're going right now these days. So to me, it's just a song. I don't care what party you are a part of. If it resonates with people because of what they're going through, I think is a very important thing. But we can talk about it more after this reaction. So let's go ahead and get into it. But before we do, please like, subscribe, and share this video. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you know whenever we come out with new videos. All right, okay, let's get with this.
Well, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world. you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men know the rich men. I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men know the rich men, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men know the rich men. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
All right, we just reacted to Oliver Anthony's Rich Men North of Richmond. Very interesting title. I pretty much like it. I'm assuming he's talking about DC and the politicians right now. Now, this song, I can understand why it's resonating with a lot of people, because a lot of people right now are suffering, are going to suffer. It's affecting my life as well. You know, before, just a relatively normal life seemed to be downgrading right now. You know, the things that I wanted to do beforehand, I had to cut back a lot myself, because you not only you see real time what's happening with your finances, but you also have that looming thing that's coming, that's going to be a recession or something that's going to be a lot worse than 2008. So a lot of people are in panic mode, and a lot of people are scared because they don't know where this is going. That's why the 2024 elections are very important. So that's why, you got to really start looking at your life. I wasn't so much into politics when I was younger, because stuff affected you, but not to the point where you get really too worried about too many things. We went through a lot of hard times, but we made it through, and it seems like America was on the same page, at least at that time. I know we had our differences, but it wasn't as divided as it is now. And I don't usually like doing politics on my channel, because I'd rather just stick to entertainment, because we get enough politic talk a lot right now that we just drowning in it right now. So it's like I try to avoid it as much as possible. But unfortunately, they made this song political. Not the people, not him, not the guy that put the song out, but he just wanted to sing about what's going on. And I guess when you know the climate right now and you understand what is happening, I think he figured that he was going to get some type of attack at some point. But I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you're suffering, you have to identify with this song, because what he's singing about is pretty much true, man. What we all are going through and what we all know, but some people are very afraid to say, because you're scared to get attacked, or some kind of penalty, especially with YouTube and a lot of other social media. If you say the wrong thing, you can get your channel removed. I mean, it can get pretty crazy, So yeah, this song definitely resonated with me, and I understand why it's number one in the Apple's chart because, like I said, a lot of people are pretty much going through a lot of stuff. They see that the money is going in only one direction, towards the rich, and it's not going towards the rest of us. Matter of fact, the money that we do have, it seemed to be dwindling. It seemed to be getting smaller. I mean, it was times I was tapping into resources that I normally wouldn't tap into, because, the price of groceries are rising, gas, property taxes, everything is just rising. And no, it's not rising people's paycheck. That's the one thing that's not rising. But everything else seems to be rising. I remember back in the day, there was talk of Jimmy Carter putting some kind of halt on groceries rising because everything was going so bad. So he at least stopped them from trying to raise prices on everything because nobody could afford it. But it don't seem like that's the case these days. Sooner or later, the college payments are going to start. That's going to put extra stress on people. People can barely afford their rent or their mortgages or their car payments. And this, like I said, this song resonates with a lot of these people. And, when you got money, if you fall into the elite category, this song means absolutely nothing to you because you ain't suffering. You pretty much got everything on easy mode. And not only that, a lot of the times, the politicians right now are pretty much looking out for you if you got enough money. I ain't saying people that's higher middle class or anything aren't getting hurt by this. But if you have enough money, if you make enough digits and you got enough influence, then pretty much you don't got too much to worry about because basically you have the politicians completely on your side. And I'm not just saying the Democrats. I'm talking about the Republicans too. In the end, rich people stick with each other. They do. They think about themselves. They don't care about nobody else. That's always been the case. But it seems like, and I don't know if it's because I'm more aware now, but it seems like it's much more prevalent now that the rich are pretty much saying, screw you, we gonna just get richer. We don't care what happened to you. We don't care how you suffer. We don't care what you're going through, that you got family, that you got children. Doesn't matter. We're gonna get what we're gonna get, and we don't care about what you're going through. We're gonna just do what we're gonna do to get more. And even though we are divided at this point, eventually at some point where everybody start to get broke, a lot of these issues that we argue about is going to subside because in the end, it's all about if you can afford a way of life. If you can't pay your rent, if you can't do anything, can't travel, can't eat the food you want or anything like that, that's going to piss everybody off. And like I say, it don't seem like it's getting any better anytime soon. And it's unfortunate. And that's the reason why people are writing songs like this. They're getting tired of seeing all the craziness. And that should be everybody, not just on one side. Everybody should be getting tired of it. But then, there's a few people that's still out there running around talking about social issues that doesn't matter to people right now. I ain't saying they never can matter. I'm just saying right now we should be concentrating on people's way of life. I don't care what you are, what you do. You can't maintain it without money. I don't care what it is. What kind of lifestyle that you live, you cannot maintain it without money. And if you broke and you can't feed yourself and you don't have nowhere to live, because we also have a housing crisis too as well. A lot of people right now are living on the street. They're going through a lot of things right now. And like I say, this probably is not going to be the last song to come out like this. The worse it gets, people going to start talking about it more. I've seen a lot of TikToks. I might even make a video on it, but I've seen a lot of TikToks right now where a lot of people complaining about inflation right now. And I don't know what side of the aisle they're on. It could be Democrats, it could be Republicans, I don't know. But it's at least true what they're saying about how much gas they got to pay for their car. This woman was complaining she had to pay like 90-something bucks just to fill up her tank. And gas burn quickly, especially if you got one of them type jobs when you got to move around a lot. You going through some money, boy. Because I did a job like that, and at the time I was paying like every time I turned around, I was at the gas station putting a lot of money in my car. It was crazy. So a lot of people are going through a lot of things right now, and they're complaining about it more and more. And I believe, because we come into like an election coming around, I believe it's going to be a lot of censorship that's going to happen. It's going to be a lot of, propaganda, a lot of stuff coming out. Maybe on both sides, maybe on one side, whoever. It's going to be a lot of things that are going to make you try to ignore your circumstances. But it's harder and harder to make people ignore that when a reality check comes in. When you realize, oh my goodness, man, I can't pay my rent this month. I mean, it was like a story in Hollywood. This actor, he was complaining about he had to sell his house because of the strikes and because he can't afford it. They're not getting paid what they feel like they deserve. I mean, lately Hollywood been putting out some crap. So I don't know how much they can really say about they not getting what they deserve. But anyway, that's something you can argue in another video. But he said he had to sell his house, so he's going through some things. Not everybody in Hollywood rich. A lot of people that, work on the sets, cater food and all these things, they rely completely on Hollywood. In LA, California, they really rely on that revenue. And right now, everything's at a halt. Everybody's suffering except the people that's controlling all this stuff, except the rich. They call them the elites, the ones that have control. And it seems like, nobody ever trusts politicians, ever in my lifetime. I mean, there's always jokes about politicians, how they lie, cheat, and all that kind of stuff, take bribes and everything. But it's just worse when you're going through a lot of things financially. It just makes it worse. I mean, yeah, and the way they combat on a lot of comedy right now, the way they kind of like, you can't even joke about things anymore. That's how a lot of people got through a lot of difficult times in life because of comedians. Because they spoke the truth a lot of the times, and it was funny. And people can at least laugh off their misery. But now it's almost like you can't even be a comedian these days because they put a halt on that. Everything is just becoming crappy now. And a lot of these people that it's going to be harder and harder also for YouTubers, because it's like you're getting censored or, traveling going to probably start getting restricted. People going to start, losing money. They being demonetized or getting strikes. It's just becoming more and more difficult for everybody. And this song is pretty much right on time. People can identify, people understand why it's number one, but we all know that this guy gonna be jumped on because he decided not only to write this song, but he decided to put it out. Yeah, he gonna catch a lot for this. They're gonna put him in the right wing category kind of a thing because he's talking about people suffering. Which back in the day, that's what pretty much people used to be able to talk about. People suffering, but now you can't do it. Because if you say anything against what they trying to put out, then you can be demonetized. You can probably get a strike. You can probably, lose your job. I mean, it's so much crazy stuff going around right now. And unfortunately, I'm sorry to say it's going to get worse. But, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe that despite it all, he will get us through it. Those that trust and believe in him, he'll get us through it. My whole faith is based on him. Not no man, not no politician, not no rich dude or anybody else. Not even this man that's singing this song. I put all my faith in God. That's it. Because, nobody really can do anything else for you other than him. And like I said, I don't generally talk about my faith on these channels, though. But I just want to make it clear where I stand. I believe that we're going through this for a reason. For our eyes to be open to what's really going on. And I trust in that. So, you can take that any way you want. You can comment any way you want. I like I said, I read all my comments. Just please be respectful if you disagree with me. That's all I ask. If you want me to reply, okay? But I think this song is important. In a nutshell, it's important because, like I said, a lot of people right now are suffering quietly. You don't know about the suffering because they don't put it on the news right now. But a lot of people are going through a lot of things right now, financially, a place to live, a car, traveling, just living a basic life. And a lot of people don't ask for a lot. They just want to live a normal life, to have a family. That's all they want. They don't want, yachts and mansions and all these things. They just want a normal life to be able to take care of their kids, to be able to send their kids to college if they want. to be able to feed them, clothe them, love them, to concentrate on the most important things when raising a family. Instead of constantly thinking about, I can't pay my bills, I can't feed my children. That's probably the worst feeling in the world. Like I said, this song is very important, whether you like it or not. And I want to say this guy can sing. He can sing. And it's a really good song. I mean, I probably didn't have much of an expression as I listened to it because I was too much focusing on the words he was saying. And I wanted to really hear what he was saying, why everybody was in an uproar about this song. And I understand now because he's telling the truth. And that seemed to be toxic these days. It's sad. It's very sad. All right. That's all I pretty much had to say about this particular situation. I just want to be open and honest about how I feel about what's going on and this song. If you didn't know, if you was clueless, because like I said, I don't like talking about politics too much, but it's kind of becoming difficult to ignore and to avoid. And much as I want to avoid it, it's pretty much terrible. I have no issue. I hope everybody, and I don't care what side, and I just want to make this clear. I do not wish evil on anyone. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care if I disagree with how you live or your politics or whatever. I have no desire for anybody to suffer, to do without, not to be able to take care of their family or to have a nice life, a decent life. As long as it don't interfere with anybody else, I do not wish any bad thing on anybody because it's wrong to do that. And I just wanted to make that clear. Whether we agree or disagree, I don't wish any evil on anyone. I just hope we can just at some point be able to agree on something and to move forward with that. But it don't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. And I hate to leave it on a note like that, but, until I see something more positive, I just really don't know what to say about it. But I do appreciate all of you coming by, though. And please like this video if you like it. Even if you don't like it, please leave some kind of like or dislike or comment. I really want to hear from all of you. I always read my comments and reply. Always. So this is my second channel. So at some point I might put it on my first channel, but definitely visit my first channel as well. I got a lot of videos on that channel, a lot more than I have on this one. This pretty much is a fresh start because like I said, I got a couple of strikes. So I'm trying to, at least get rid of one of them. I'm hoping, right? But yeah, so right now I'm going to post most things on this channel. So I really appreciate all of you coming by. Thanks again. This is T and peace.
These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, cause the rich men north of Richmond